Have you ever wanted to go to a certain stage and know that when you go there, you'd win at least 90% of the time? What's good, you bunch of maulers? This is Urb back at you with another YouTube video, and today we're going to discuss the top 5 advantageous stages in Brawlhalla. Now, why are we doing the Brawlhalla video? It's because I want to. They're fun. Now, these stages I'm going to show you are simply stages that will be advantageous based off the type of character that you have. I'm going to show you how they be advantageous in a match, in the 1v1 of course, and then we're going to go from there. With that being said, let's get it. In no particular order, we're going to take a stop into ThunderGard. Now, ThunderGard, let's examine it. It looks like a pretty flat surface. It seems like a pretty flat surface. When you fight on it, you're on a flat surface. I mean, let's be honest, it's a flat surface. But here's what makes ThunderGard so advantageous. You see that gap in the middle? Let me tell you about that gap in the middle. Now, that gap in the middle of this platform can be a pretty sneaky setup for a lot of different upsigs, like Koji's here, as he demonstrates in just a moment. Now, as far as who can you use to get that upsig off and snipe somebody the way Koji does here, I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to leave that to the masses to decide. But ThunderGard is incredible, in my opinion, for two reasons. One, it's a flat surface. Two, that gap in the middle. Look, that gap in the middle, that's a gap in the middle. That is a sneaky setup for that gap in the middle. On to the next one. Okay, next stop is Plains of Passage. Now, this one is kind of a similar situation to ThunderGard, how Koji's able to snipe you from the gap. The platform in the middle, what Nyx does in this clip, as you'll probably see in just a moment, he's able to pretty much snatch you from the top of that platform. Now, if you know how Nyx's neutral sig works, it's pretty doggone disrespectful. He snatches you by your ankle and says, get back down here where you came from. Now, I personally love taking advantage of this because it adds an element of surprise. No one expects you to get snatched off the top of a platform, especially when you are just under them. That middle platform that floats above the stage is just low enough to pull people from, whether it be with an up sig, whether it be you bouncing them through the middle platform and then catch them with a up sig or neutral sig, whichever your preference is. That middle platform can be used for a lot of dangerous stuff, and with Nyx in particular, like I said, that neutral sig is nasty. He pulls you from the platform with his guns, and you know what? Next one. Next stop, we're going to go into Twilight Grove. We're going to focus on Diana for this one. Now, Diana is a commonly used fighter. The bow itself, it has a pattern to it that's not really hard to catch up with. Now, what makes Diana dangerous on a map like Twilight Grove is that map that's silver to the right side over there. Now, the thing with that wall and Diana is that they get along very well. Her bow combos, her sigs in particular, makes her a pretty bouncy legend. And what I mean by that, let's take her up sig for example, where she wraps you up in her bow and fires you back down to the ground. I like the sig personally. There's her down sig where she wraps you up in her bow again and then sends you skipping like a rock back the other way. It's hysterical. She's able to bounce you off a lot of different surface area. So what makes her even more dangerous is that you can even loop that if you wanted to. If you're really angry with somebody and you really want to make somebody upset, Diana is the way to go, because if you time it right, you can send someone flying like a game of Pong to every side of the map if you really wanted to. It's hysterical to do. Now, just keep that in mind. Diana's pretty commonly used. There's other fighters I'm sure you can use that has really bouncy sigs, but Diana is just a first when it comes to mind, because she's annoying with that, like very annoying. Next one. Next up is Small King's Pass. Now, we gotta use Petra for this because she is a good example of what's about to happen here. If you look at Small King's Pass, there are several places and gaps throughout the platform, especially in between the platform and on the edges as pointed here. Now, what she does is edge guarding. Now, what edge guarding is, it is simply sitting at the edge of a platform waiting for your opponent to float back to you, just so you can clock them in the chin and send them back where they came from, 30 miles out from the platform. What's funny about it is that Petra's down sig, which is essentially, if you're a Goku fan, a spirit bomb, if you're a Frieza fan, it's a death ball, wherever your preference is. That death ball or spirit bomb is just big enough, and the concussion blast is just big enough to do some successful edge guarding. What happens is the opponent slides on the wall, you throw down a spirit bomb, that spirit bomb says get off the wall. It's funny, it's like a little fly swatter. that's how you can take advantage of this one here. It's a really big edge guard map, but it is a 1v1 map nonetheless, but it's really good for edge guarding. So if you're trying to get toxic with somebody, take them to Small King's Pass, show them how to really edge guard. Okay, final stop in our bus ride today, we're going over to Demon Island. We're focusing on Zariel for this one. Now let's start with Demon Island first. Aesthetically, a very well drawn out map. It looks elegant in the background. I like the idea of light and dark kind of clashing at one another. It's beautiful. I love it. Now here's the thing with Zariel here. This is a similar situation to ThunderGard. It's a flat. Let's just go and establish that right there. But with Zariel in particular, this is kind of an add-on to ThunderGard. How you're able to bounce people, and this is kind of an add-on to Diana, as a matter of fact. How you're able to bounce people off of different areas. If you focus on Zariel here and how he's being used, Zariel is able to, his combos itself is 4-6 city. Alright, you can focus this on another flat surface platform if you like as well, but it's 6 city. If you just focus on how he fights, a lot of his SIGs are advancing SIGs. They're able to push you, and he has his up SIG with his gauntlets. He has his bows. Like it's forward 6 city. You can just like literally put together SIGs left and right, not just on Demon Island, but back on ThunderGard as well. But the reason I have Demon Island and ThunderGard on here, like I said, Demon Island in my opinion is probably the best looking 1v1 map. It's beautiful. It's just a gorgeously drawn map. I love the way it looks. The developers of Brawlhalla did really good with putting this map together as far as the drawing is concerned. It looks wonderful. And that's it for this one. These are 5 of the maps in my opinion that are really best for 1v1s, whether it be just, you know, strategically speaking, or whether it just be aesthetically speaking. This was kind of a fun one to put together. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to UMG. All of your support is greatly appreciated. Simply you checking out the videos is always greatly appreciated. I hope these videos find you informative, and until the next one, guys, Urb out.